Dad and I are in a race to win the Premier League. We started off in the Vanarama National League with Sutton and Hartlepool United. But Season 1 see me beat my dad in the playoff final to gain that second promotion spot, meaning Dad had to spend another season in the National League while I was in Sky Bet League 2. However, Season 2 was great for both of us as Dad gained promotion as champion, while I was actually sneaking into League 1 with back-to-back promotions. But it seems like Season number 3 won't be easy for both of us this summer as it plays out. First off, I'm focusing in on bringing in more staff to allow me to scout for more players. And my recruitment is underway this summer despite not having a very big budget, as I'm mainly looking for free transfers of players that will help me improve my chances of surviving next season. However, when the 1st of July came around, the breaking news was the worst possible for me and Sutton United as a transfer embargo because of financial breaches came around. Not to mention the close finances already are really bad as well. Dad, on the other hand, was bringing in a couple of players and familiar faces too, and still had a big budget to spend before the season began. One thing he didn't have to worry about though was a goal scorer, as Gary Medine started off the season well once again. He even got back-to-back hat-tricks. But while the embargo continued off the pitch, I had to continue focusing on the pitch as we started season number 3. Well, Dad, Sutton United, back-to-back promotions, then
done,
we're
mate.
under transfer embargo.
Too big for your boots, mate, ain't it? You've
Yeah.
gone up too quick.
I did say I don't want to go up too quick,
Yeah.
but I didn't think it would be because financially we'd be in such a trouble. I thought getting promotion's supposed to be a good
It's
thing.
what you're supposed to be, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
supposed to be getting more money in the higher leagues you are, so
Supposed to get rewarded here.
something's
but
not right, is it?
As you can see, our bank balance is minus £1.2 million right now. I do still have 100% of transfer revenue, but nobody wants to buy any of our players, and I'm currently under a transfer embargo due to a breach of financial regulations. Now, it doesn't say on here yet that because of that I've been deducted any points or anything like that.
No.
So we'll go with it as long as we possibly can, I guess, before that does happen, and hopefully it doesn't cost us a promotion again. Although I very much doubt we'll get promoted straight away. Anyway, I did bring in some good players before the actual transfer embargo came in. Good job, really, because my squad was tiny. It was so small. So the first thing, or the couple of players that we brought in, Adam Smith, you might recognise him. He obviously played in the Premier League for Bournemouth for a long time.
Yeah.
Plays in both positions. He's also now my head of youth development. For some reason, he wanted that job as well as actually playing. So, yeah, whatever, mate. I can't really see us bringing in some fantastic players anyway. Sonny Bradley, ex-Argyle player.
Yes.
Brought him in, a very good defender as well. So fantastic mental attributes, good heading, going to be great for me from set pieces as well. Max Woodcock on a free transfer, great striker, only young as well, good potential on the game, pacey. Will be a backup this season, I think, because the next couple of signings were a lot better. Not Jimmy Dunn, although Jimmy Dunn is good. He is an Irish centre-back that we brought in. He's quite good, to be fair, but it's these two. Michael Fry, another guy from QPR, although my curse of getting injured straight away, he's out for 4 weeks, of course he is, in August, but he is going to be my out-and-out striker, as you can see. Cracking player, especially for this level. A good League 1
Two-footed as well, I do.
Yeah, and Devante Cole, Andy Cole's lad.
Yeah.
And we know how good of a striker he was.
Yes.
Good amount of pace on him, mental attributes maybe not quite there, but he can still finish. He'll be a good player for us this season, I think. He's been playing at Crewe Alexander. Not a lot of players left the club because, well, I say not a lot of players left. Free transfer-wise, released players, there was quite a lot.
No, it's gone, yeah.
Yeah, quite a lot of players have gone there. But yeah, at the end of the day, we're just going to have to make do with what we've got here. We've still got a basis of a very good team. A 4-4-2 that we're still rocking from the last couple of seasons that have done great for us, and we've started the season quite well. I mean, we just lost to Watford there, but we did just beat Argyle, who've come down to League 1 at some point. Carlisle was a good start to the season, and we drew to QPR after stealing 2 of their players, who've obviously come down to Sky Bet League 1 as well. So I'm actually quite happy with that start, and we're currently in the playoffs. If we can stay in the playoffs,
Ideal.
yeah, really good. In a way, I kind of don't want to go up to the championship just yet because I feel like
3 in a row would be too quick, really, wouldn't it?
yeah,
You'd be in a lot of
just
trouble.
won't have like the basis of a squad.
No.
I feel like you need to for a promotion to work really well, you need to have good level of say we're in Sky Bet League 1, we need to have a good level of Sky Bet League 1 players.
Yeah.
then you build on that in the Championship. At the minute, I feel like I have a good level of National League players, and we're in Sky Bet League One.
Yeah.
So it's going to take something.
If you went up again, you would just really struggle, I think, and come straight back down again. I think.
Yeah,
and you got no money to buy, so you could be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, so let's just secure our position.
Yeah.
A playoff spot would be lovely because then, like, the board might think I'm amazing. I mean, they already do. Look at the clobber that they sent me.
Yeah.
But they might think, God, this guy's amazing. Back-to-back promotions. Then he gets us to the playoffs. Like, that's class. So if we can stay roughly where we are, I would be very happy. But as long as we're staying in the division, that's just the main thing. Dad, your Hartlepool side, though, after finally getting promoted.
Yes. Good season.
Yeah, you were given quite a bit of money.
Yeah, I was quite pleased. They're supporting me in that way. So, yeah, I'm really pleased with that.
So if we're looking at the players that you have decided to bring in, there's been quite a lot. Starting off with Corey Evans on a free transfer, coming in centre midfield there. But then you're backing up with a lot of free transfers, and then one that you just went, I'm going to smash the rest of my transfer budget on. 350k, a guy from Yeovil.
Well, I just felt I just needed another striker, then I just couldn't pick one up anywhere, and this guy popped up, so I thought, right, I'm going to have to spend the money, so I did.
Yeah. Looking at the rest, I mean, some quality players here. You got a good midfielder, young as well. Brad Young, who of course.
This is probably my best signing because this is the keeper I had in my first season.
Yeah, he was on loan, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was on loan, and I couldn't have him. That he wasn't interested in signing me for the second season, but he was really interested in signing me for this season.
Yeah, well, not surprised when he got released from Leicester, and all of a sudden he wants a club.
Yeah.
Josh Brooking comes
I was a good right back as well. Yeah, pleased with that signing.
Well.
Yeah.
Loney using the loan
That's
market.
a good signing. Yeah.
Yeah, because look how good of a player he is.
I mean, there's no way I'm going to be able to afford. So it'll be a one season with this guy because he is really good and he'll move on.
Yeah. Jaden Williams. I mean, a couple of these players you might
see
not
this
see
guy
as
here.
much,
I mean, he's a young striker coming from Spurs. I think I got him from. And he lacks in other bits, but I think he's just ideal to have as a reserve striker.
Yeah.
Really. I don't think he's going to get into my first team, but as a freebie, I thought, I'll take him.
Nico Lawrence is another one. Good centre-back option there. 21 years of age with a higher potential. Then we've got Angus MacDonald, who you're actually locking in this season.
Yes.
And the reason for it is as a player, for some reason, that your assistant manager's in love with. Really strange behaviour.
He was putting him in. He was putting him all over the pitch, wasn't he? So I'd lock him in.
Connor Masterson, another centre-back. Another better centre-back than the one that you've got in there. And then Benica Phobie.
Yes.
Benica Phobie, of course.
So I got him right at the desk, sort of.
Come through Arsenal's Youth Academy.
So there's definitely another striker there for me. So I was pleased to getting this guy in.
Veteran Benica Phobie, 32 years of age now, and he goes straight into the team as well. If you're looking at best 11, actually you can see McDonald is locked in there. And if it does it change. Yeah, for some reason. He's got something on top.
If anybody can know why this guy keeps going into my team, you let me know because I don't see it.
Yeah, the assistant manager's in love with Tom Parks. But the rest of the team, you were happy with.
Yes.
And that's kind of how it will look across the season. And you've started well as well.
Yes.
Considering you've just been promoted, you lost one of the games against Mansfield Town at home, but the rest of the results have been decent.
Yeah.
Started off with a win against Swindon, away from home as well. Gary Medine is still banging in goals, by the way, because he got one there. Then he got a hat-trick against Gillingham in a 4-4 draw.
He's doing so well for me, so yeah.
Back-to-back hat-tricks because he then got 3 against Doncaster. And did he score in this one? No, he didn't. He didn't score in that one. Oh, he's out of 4.
Oh, I bet he's disappointed with that one.
He's out of 4. He only got 7 and 3. So there we go. But what's your expectations for this season? Are you looking to catch me up, or is it stability?
I'm like the same as you, really. I think I'm sort of like targeting sort of top half of the table. If I get to the playoffs, even better. I can't see me being anywhere near getting promoted.
Yeah.
So if I'm close to the playoffs, I'll be happy with that.
Yeah, okay.
So like you say, you sort of settle in the league, and then I still think I'll need another transfer window to sort of settle my squad, really.
Yeah.
And then I can go again after that. So that's what I'm looking at. Top half of the league. If I hit the playoffs, even better.
Yeah. I mean, the season preview puts you in 16th, which isn't too bad. That's kind of, where you'd like to be, really.
As long as I survive.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. As long as you survive in this league, but I would like to be around where like Exeter and Wimbledon are, 8th and 9th. If I can finish around about there, I'll be really pleased.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right then. Well, let's see if we get our wish. Do we both survive? Maybe one of us gets a surprise little promotion, which again is kind of I'm trying to avoid it as much as it sounds weird because we don't have the ability to do it yet. Let's see what happens anyway. Both Dad and I's step up into the new division was going a lot better than what we both anticipated. With Hartlepool playing so well up until the new year that Dad's side was currently sat in second place, although it's really tight down to 7th spot. Meanwhile, I was sat just outside the playoff positions, but again, it's really tight in League 1 too. Unfortunately, my December and January months were terrible and kind of cost us our season and any promotion hopes to the championship. But we still finished a really respectable 8th place in the league, which isn't bad at all. Dad also had a rotten period and dropped into 7th place, which is still in the playoffs, although he would have to face a very good Chesterfield side. And they defeated Dad in extra time in the playoff semi-final, meaning Hartlepool will play another season in the division beneath me. Well, I think we can both be happy with that.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm really pleased with that. I mean, all right, I lost in the playoffs, sort of semi-final, but hey, I'm happy with that. I'm the same as you. I don't really want it to go up as quick, but I'd like to have done. But when you see where I finished, I'm a long way away from the top 2, 3. So yeah,
some big clubs in the league as well. Wigan, Reading, even Swindon Town to some extent. Notts County, going up. So there was some big clubs in there.
Yeah.
And you held your own. 7th place finish.
Pleased with that. That's better than I thought I was going to do. So I'm really pleased with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you could definitely be happy with that.
Yeah.
Gary Medine's up there again. Not quite the 40 odd that he was getting in the National League, but 20 still.
Hey, in this league, that's still good.
Yeah, really good. But I think the reason why you had such a good time in there, Brad Young, 18 clean sheets, which is exactly the same as Sam Tickle, who was the Golden Glove winner.
Well, I knew he was a good goalkeeper from when I had him at the club before, so getting him in just proves that again. So
yeah, absolutely.
Good signing that.
We're looking across the season. Gary Medine was the top scorer. Benica Phobie was there with 19.
Yeah.
And Macaulay Bonnie, who of course you signed for quite a lot of money, got 16 goals coming off the bench majority of the time.
Yeah,
that's
with
still
that.
Decent as like
definitely,
a third string striker. The money that you're getting though, I'm very jealous. 900k. I mean, the wage budget is going to have to be changed a little bit, but even still, you're getting like 200k with some wage budget for the league below, which is mental. Because if you're looking at Sutton United's, it ain't looking good. League-wise, really happy with that. As I said, I think it would have been too soon. We kind of ruined the club to go up too early to some extent. We're not quite ready. I had the exact same points as you, by the way, 74 points.
That's good then, yeah.
Yeah, but I finished just outside the playoff spots. Whereas 7th gets playoff spots in the League 2, 7th doesn't get in League 3, in League 1. Barnsley end up going up. I think it's
when
top 6.
When you look at the teams above you, though, there's some good teams there as well now. So
yeah. So yeah, I'm over the moon. Over the moon with where we finished. My biggest worry now is players leaving. And that is down to some extent the finances. I mean, we've got ourselves out of the red.
Yeah.
But I mean, financially, we're okay. We didn't get charged with anything, but we've got nothing in terms of transfer budget. If you look at this wage budget, we're still -7. We've had our initial budgets for next season. But this is what's scary for me. 2026 we're in now. Expires 2026. Yeah, all of these, every single one of them. Look how many first team appearances there are in there, including my amazing goalkeeper, who, if I say to him, hey, do you want a new contract?
No.
So half my team wants to leave.
All I can say is good job your board thinks you're a good manager.
Half my team wants to leave. The rest of them, if you look at 2027, that's the rest of them.
Oh, that ain't good, is it, for next season?
So, and most of the time, players want a pay rise.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to get a new contract, you probably can. I'm not quite sure what's going to happen this season.
You got to get promoted. Because that's the only way the players will stay with you, isn't they?
Well, yeah.
They want to stay because you're in a new league.
Yeah, that's one thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to sign a new contract. Oh, we're going to the championship, are we?
Yeah.
Oh, do you know what? I think I changed my mind. I quite like it here.
Yeah, it's quite
I've really enjoyed my time at Sutton United. Let's stay. No, I think that's... Yeah, we're either going to have to rely a lot on free loan markets.
100%.
And just bringing in players that cost absolutely nothing to bring in and really rely... Because I didn't use a loan market at all this season. Some people say that's a mistake when you're in the lower leagues. I don't in some way, because I feel like if you don't go up, then when those loan players go, you're like,
You got to do it all over again.
Yeah. So, but I might not have a choice.
Yeah.
Here, I might just have to go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same as you. I don't like going the loan as much, really, and I do it mainly because I think if I can get a player on a freebie, it's better because then 9 times out of 10 you can sell them and you get money in. And when you're going up through the leagues, that's when you do profit, because when you get it to the championship, you start selling a few players. You're getting a bit more money in. You need that money.
Yeah.
But if you go to the championship and you've loaned 5 players, next season you've got to buy 5 players.
Yeah.
So it does become hard then.
Yeah, because nobody wants to be loaned to the worst club in the championship.
No, they don't know.
Which we would be going in first season. I can't even re-sign myself, which says something, doesn't it? Like, it says here, but on 2.8, maybe I can actually bring myself... To be honest, though, I don't want to initially straight go in there with, let's give him 2.8 and we'll see. Because... Yeah, right now, I don't even think we can get anything done. Right, but so it's going to be an interesting summer. And I'm not quite sure what's going to happen. But I tell you what, we both survived. We both live for another day.
Yeah.
Another 4th round in the FA Cup ain't bad as well against Everton, losing 4-1 to Everton.
You don't mind losing against the big sides.
Yeah, I mean, you got to the 3rd round again, not too bad.
Yeah, Bolton, I'll take that.
Yeah, our mate Aaron's Bolton knocked you out there in the 3rd round, there in the Championship. So some big clubs that we're getting to, we're still doing quite well in the FA Cup. It bodes well that we're doing well in the FA Cup in this, but when I do Glory Hunt there, it's the worst tournament ever for me. But all right, well, we'll see what happens this summer, because I think I'm going to have an existential crisis when it comes to July 1st. And I have 0 players left in my side. I had to wait for July before I could even offer any players a contract, and by then our squad was down to the bare bones and we could barely field an 11. And upon asking the board for a little leeway in the wage budget to allow me to bring in more bodies, they were having none of it, and not even getting down on my knees and begging seemed to work. I'm even struggling to find a free transfer this season, because you still have to pay the signing on fee out of my non-existent transfer budget. Downey, on the other hand, was bringing in Crystal Palace striker Mateta on a free transfer down in League 2 with Hartlepool, which is rather impressive. I had a lifeline though, because finally a player that somebody wanted to sign off me, and they gave me 160k, which turned out to be a godsend for my season, because it allowed me to bring in new signings like Matt Crooks, and he's actually the reason I'm going to be switching up my system going into season number 4 using an attacking midfielder. Dad was also changing his system too, and of course he looks to adopt for his classic 4-3-3 formation, as he now has a good amount of strikers. Well, as I predicted, one thing actually, Charlie Kelman left for quite a lot of money, which did actually help, because at that time I had no players and then no additional budget to even bring in free transfers. And also, I don't understand why you have to pay a fee to bring in a free transfer. That's annoying.
It is annoying, yeah.
But I mean, eventually Charlie Kelman left on the 7th of July. Look how many players I signed after that. Just that 145k, and that is the difference. Like you mentioned, if you can offload a player, because he wasn't playing that many games for me last season. He played 25 games but only 9 starts, and he got 2 goals. So the fact that I was able to offload him to bring in all of these players, 100% worth it. It's a
big difference, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, let's look at the players that I did eventually bring in. Devante Cole obviously was the season before. We lost pretty much every single player, including Luke Robinson.
Yeah, he put his wage bill up a bit more when you went.
Yeah, funny that, isn't it? When we go off camera, Luke, you want all of a sudden loads more money. Yeah. Toby Savin came in. We needed goalkeepers because I had 0. I lost both my goalkeepers. So Toby Savin and Sol Bryn was the first 2 players that I decided to bring in, get the keeper in there early. Then it was a lot in the loan market. You can see there, only 2 of those players were actually free transfers. One was a centre-back that it's not too bad, Danish centre-back.
It's a good one. Young as well, so it's good.
Yeah, he ain't bad at all. And Matt Crooks, who was my final deal, who actually has persuaded me to change formation this season. Whether that will bite me in the ass or not, I don't know, because I've been doing quite well. Even
so you don't change very often, do you?
Team, no. If I get something that works, but I think he looks so good in that position.
Yeah.
As a shadow striker with 13 for finishing, etc., and arrives late in opponent's area. Oh, that's my favourite combination.
It is, yeah.
So Matt Crooks coming in on a free, not a bad option there. But the likes of Harry Amass, I've got Harry Amass in from Manchester United at left back, not a bad deal there. I think he's a cracking left back in there. Tabarez, who comes in as a centre-back option there. We've got some good options. Sulemana coming in there. We've got Michael Kwame, Michelle Kwame even on loan. So some good options coming in, and I think we might be all right. We might be all right. Tactically, as I mentioned, we have changed it ever so slightly, but this is what it will look like. And then, Dad, if we're going over to you, transfer budget for you was obviously a lot better.
Yeah.
And you spent it quite well, to be fair. Reece Williams was the first guy that came in.
Good centre-back
option.
Yeah, which
Really
I needed,
good.
really.
That was last season, wasn't it? You sold Folarin.
Yeah.
But more free transfers. Leighton Stewart, cracking striker, although he's got my curse. He's out for 2 to 3 months at the start of this season. Andrew Thomas, because you needed a goalkeeper as well.
Yeah, a reserve keeper left, didn't he? So, yeah.
Christopher Kidd, now this is the cracking loan signing.
Yes, definitely, yeah. And it was in a position where I really needed that sort of defending midfielder, and he could have come in. I think he's more of a ball-winning midfielder.
Yeah.
The tackling's really good in it. So, yeah, I needed that one position, and I got this guy sort of late on.
Yeah.
I was pleased with that, yeah.
Owen Bailey, which is another centre-back option that came in. It looks
sort of
like
looking after the sort of, looking after the sort of, as I call it, always the spine of the team.
Yeah. But the main signing for you, Jean-Philippe Mateta.
Yeah,
he's playing in the Premier League.
Yes.
What happened there? I mean, playing in the Premier League, he didn't actually play the last 2 seasons, but...
so he's nice and fresh.
Yeah. No goals in 5. But
he'll kick in. He's just getting his fitness back, I think.
Yeah. Brushing off the cobwebs.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Mateta has signed for Hartlepool in Sky Bet League 2. Hey. What a fall from grace, by the way.
Oh.
Jean-Philippe.
I'll tell you what, mate, I'm going to take him back to being famous again, I'll tell you.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, schedule, you start off quite well.
Yes, I've had a really good start. I'm really pleased with this. Only one loss in there so far. So, yeah
not
good
too
start.
Bad. Doing well in the cups as well. You sat yourself currently in the playoffs, which is obviously where you like to be.
Yeah.
And the season preview, again, it's just bombing you up ever so slightly into ninth.
Yeah, I'd like to think I'm going to be at least in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I've had a bit of a tinker with the formation as well.
Yeah.
I've gone for it up front, which is my favourite,
of course,
as everybody knows. Hey, if you're going to go for it, you got to go for it. So I've got strikers in that can do the business. So I'm going to go for it.
All right. Well, yeah, you got a lot of strikers.
Yeah, I have now. Yeah.
If we're looking at my start to the season, it hasn't been as good, unfortunately. Lovely win at the start of the season to Cambridge. Thought that was great. And Wycombe Wanderers away win as well. Gives me a little bit of hope, but 4 losses here. Bolton is understandably, they've just come down from the Championship. Blackpool might have just come down as well. I can't quite remember. But Leyton Orient, against 10 men as well. It's a bad result, really.
Yeah.
So I don't really know how this season's going to go for me, but if we're looking at Sky Bet League 1 in terms of the season preview, it's sticking us down in 19th. We didn't check what it was last season, but I can't imagine it would have been too much far away from that anyway. But will we reach the playoffs this season with the squad? I don't really know. Again, it's mainly survival. I think we've had such an overturn of players in the last 2 seasons. My squad is unrecognisable. Do you remember when I was saying season 1, I was apologising for certain players if they end up... Well, you're all gone by the looks of it. I don't think any of you stuck around.
You upset them after 2 seasons, did you?
Yeah. But I don't think it was up to me. I think you all decided to leave. So, unfortunately, you might have been gone.
They won't be watching this program anymore because none of them are there.
No, episode 2, I will clock out of that one. But yeah, I think, we're just... To be honest, if we finish 19th, we finish 19th. We survive. There's 4 clubs that go down in this division. So 21st to 24th is the danger zone. If we finish 19th, we stay there. We stay in the league. That's the main thing for now. And we just got to make sure that this stops going down as much as what it keeps doing.
Yeah.
If we've got to sell a big player, we've got to sell a player every summer. We've got to sell a player every summer. But we've got to rely on the loan market because, next season, all the way down to there, is leaving the club at the minute. Yeah, which is 24 players. 24 players have a year left on their contract as we go into this season.
Dear.
In fact, if every player left, I would have in my first team 7 players. And by the way, I've actually had to bump players up from
and and most of their contracts finishes the next season.
Yeah, so we could be absolutely screwed. We'll see though. Let's see what happens this season. It was all about survival again, but maybe we can cause a bit of a shock. Who knows? Luckily for me, my form picked up, but not enough to erase my bad start to the season. And with 19 games left, I would have to be incredibly good or really bad if I was to make it to a playoff situation or be part of a relegation scrap. That's Hartlepool's side, with of course Mateta leading the line, with Gary Medine in a front three was firing on all cylinders. And although he is in with an outside chance of winning the league, the 3rd place promotion spot is certainly within grabbing reach, and they are favourites to do so. And the big man up front continued to score goals for Hartlepool and really helped Dad in the second half of the season. And while I was securing a 15th place finish, which is not my best performance, Dad's side actually had a late push for the title and finished in an amazing 2nd place thanks to a final day win. Well, Dad, you got Mateta firing 22 league goals.
I knew he wouldn't let me down.
Get promotion.
Yes.
Next season. Well, this
I had a good finish of the season. It sort of helped me out and pulled me right up there. So,
Yeah.
I'm really pleased with that.
Good to see as well. Forest Green Rovers come up with us. They were obviously in the Vanarama National League.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
So coming up with you in Salford. The playoffs are still to be played. We're at
they only lost 6 games as well, so they've done really well.
Oh, yeah.
So
You're
they deserve
3 points behind them. They drew so many games.
Yeah, that was their problem. I mean, I lost 13 games.
Yeah.
So to get promotion after losing 13 games,
You actually
I'm really
won
pleased.
2 more games than them.
Yeah.
And you lost more than double.
Oh, that's terrible,
Which
isn't it?
shows how many draws they managed to pick up.
Yeah.
But entertaining games nonetheless. They go up as champions. You go up in 2nd place. It was very tight.
Oh, yeah.
When it was going to the final couple of games of the season, you were actually in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then the last 2 results, a 3-0 win against Rotherham and a 1-0 win against Tranmere away from home, pushed you into
Done the
2nd
business.
place.
Yeah. Really pleased with that.
And of course,
I'm in your league now.
you'll be joining me, because I didn't move again for the 2nd season after back-to-back promotions, 2 seasons in Sky Bet League 1. Bolton have gone back up. I mentioned obviously that they were good. The playoffs are still to be played. Who goes up with that is undecided. But the main thing is I finished in 15th and I was comfortably away from that relegation zone. I wasn't in a scrap. I wasn't in a promotion push. I was so boring and bland this season. We were vanilla and I loved it. And that is mainly because I didn't want any drama this season. I just wanted to focus on survival. Now, whether it turns out that I will be able to keep anybody is, you tell me, because if we're looking at my finances again, I am already -4, and if we're looking at players who are going to leave the club, how many did we mention? It was like 27, something like that. Well, it's down to Harry and Mass there, which is obviously a loan signing. So those 2 there as well. That is 23. So 23 players right now are going to be leaving, and I have probably not got any money to actually renew any contracts, should I even want to. Even players that are coming up as opt-in to leave at the end. I was trying to sell them as it got to at some point.
That's a big loss for you, that Ben Stevens there, because he's worth 1.1.
Yeah.
That's a game changer for your team.
Yeah, it was. So even our striker who got 11 goals, Michael Frey from QPR, of course, got 11 goals last season. He is also going to be leaving as well. Not quite sure. Devontae Cole, who was top scorer this season, 15, gone. Matt Crooks we're keeping. Of course, we brought him in last season. Might have to build a team around Matt, to be honest. There's nobody else in there.
Bring your mates along, Matt, please.
Yeah, have to really see what we can do next season, because at the minute, you're in probably a better position than what I am, because I've got no money. And again, you're bored. You haven't got anything yet. We are at the 29th of April. We need to keep remembering that. Although I have no money right now, I might be given something, but finances aren't looking good. Whereas you're also 1.6 minus 1.6.
Yeah.
I always think how are you supposed to actually do well with?
I don't know.
It's like sometimes the game of Football Manager chucks some. I'm 1.8. Chucks some things at you, and you're like, how the hell were you ever supposed to survive anyway? But we're gonna try. We're going to give it our best, because this is the race to the Prem, and the video or the series doesn't end until one of us wins the Premier League.
And we're back in the same league.
And we're back in the same league, which means, of course, the results against each other is back.
Yes.
I think we haven't played against each other for 2 years.
No, we haven't. No. So yeah, please.
2-0 up.
Yeah.
So that obviously comes into contention again when we face off next season. So don't go anywhere, stick around, because the race to the Prem continues. Yes, congratulations to Dad and his Hartlepool side, who gains promotion to join me next season, and the advantage of the race to the Prem is back on level terms.